Hey, badass business owners, welcome back to the show. Have you ever been so busy and you know you still need to grow the business, but you're not quite sure where you're going to come up with the time that's needed to be able to grow the business? Never mind the resources in order to grow the business. And way too often what happens is people think, oh, I need to hire people in order for me to grow the business. Well, that might be true, but in a lot of cases, it's not true because all you're ending up doing is you're not really growing the profits. Yes, you might grow the sales because you now have this individual that you can plug in into the jobs that are coming up. So it's going to increase your sales because you're going to be able to do these jobs. But because you haven't ran the numbers and because you don't really know what the profit is going to be off of those, what may be happening is you're helping more customers, you're getting more people off your back, you're growing the business's sales, but you're not necessarily growing the profits of the business. And every time that you hire somebody, it should be with the intention of it frees up more of your time. So this way you can go create more profit. And this is one of the reasons why it's so critical that your pricing is correct. Because if you're pricing correctly today, assuming that you are being paid as an employee and benefiting from profits as a business owner, then when you hire out those jobs, yes, you lose the employee money because now you're going to be paying it to someone else, but they are still creating profit. And eventually they should be doing more jobs than what you were able to do, which is going to replace your income that you lost as the employee piece because you're no longer doing those jobs. But because you are no longer focused on doing the job, you're able to increase your profits. You could increase your profits through spending time on your pricing, making sure it's right, changing the menu that you have, the list of services, however you want to word it, of what it is that you do. You could say, you can study it and say, look, when I do these types of jobs, I make, $20 an hour off of them. And when I do these types of jobs, the profit is 50. Well, wow, I really need to shift my business to do more of these types of jobs because it's going to increase my profits, which, by the way, when you increase your profits, you offset the money you've lost because of hiring the employee. Hopefully that's making sense, because what happens is way too often is we grow the business. And like I said, all we end up doing is shifting our employee income to somebody else. And then you as the business owner, because you didn't increase those profits, you start feeling like you're making less and less money. You will always make less money when you initially hire the employee. That is going to happen. But what should happen is in a very short period of time, that profit, like I said, should replace what it is that you lost. So that way you can get back to even, if not making a little bit more profit, and then you can continue and redo the cycle. But what happens is, I see this happen all the time. Instead of us pausing for a minute to make sure that we can make it work, we just go out and we hire a person because we think it's the only way we can stay on top of the business. And sometimes you just got to say no. You just have to say, look, I can't grow the business. You're better off just raising your prices, to take your prices from, $40, $50 to $55, $60, or from $90 to $99. You're better off raising your prices that way, slowing down your growth. Yes, you will lose some people, but if you think about it, if you're only making $10 on a job and you raise your prices by $10, you can lose one person, but all you have to do is one sale to offset the $10 in profit you just lost. A lot of people don't do the math and they don't realize that in most cases when you raise your prices, you can lose 1 out of 10, 1 out of 5. It depends upon how much you raise those prices. You can lose people and still make the same amount of money, if not more, which is why you hear people all the time, whether you listen to podcasts or you watch them on YouTube or wherever you're getting your business information from, you're going to hear people tell you all the time that when you are so busy, the first thing you need to do is raise your prices, not necessarily hire someone new, because it's about profit. Remember, this is not a sales game. This is a profit game. And when you go after and you chase sales, you could be causing yourself to lose money because once again, you plug in people. You see people as the answer to your problem, as opposed to the fact that you just have a pricing problem. Because when people are so eager to say yes to what it is that you do, it's for one of two reasons. Either you're the cheapest out there and they're saying yes, or you're just that good and they're saying yes. So when you raise your prices, the people you're going to lose are the people that only see you as the cheapest option. The people that see you as the best value and the person that just they love and adore, they're going to continue to go with you. Are they going to be happy about the price change? No, nobody is. I mean, if you're like me, I'm not happy when my best people raise their prices, but I get it. And I'm not going to dump them just because they're all of a sudden pricing correctly. Now, is there a tipping point? Probably. There are some things that I'm not going to lie, that someone prices themselves such at a crazy amount that even I have to say, hey, that's where I got to call it. And if you get to that point, you will. That's fine. But my main point here is I want you guys to pause a little bit before you go out there and you just hiring people. Right now, all you hear is, oh, it's so hard to get people. It's hard to get people. It's hard to get people. Absolutely. And you know what? It is one of the toughest markets out there to be able to get people. Slow down for a minute and make sure you're chasing people for the right reasons. Don't even get me started on part of the reason why you keep spinning through people. Some of it is market driven. Absolutely. Part of it is the type of people that you're having to hire. Absolutely. But I hate hiring. I've hired thousands and thousands of people. I hate hiring. But the one thing I do know is that you take your time and you find the right people and the odds go down that you're going to lose them. I pride myself on the fact that I've always had lower turnover because I spend all that painstaking time making sure that I find the right person, even if it takes longer than it should. I get it. Some businesses you can't wait. I mean, if you got jobs backed up and you need the people, you got to do what you got to do. I get it. So I'm not bashing anybody that has to do it that way. But I think that if we're always looking for good people, you hire people when you don't need them, because the odds are you will need them at some point, and somebody you've hired isn't going to make it, but you've already got somebody to replace them. But I don't mean to hijack this particular episode, but because that was rolling off my head, I thought I would throw it out there. My biggest thing today is I just want to make sure that we slow down before we go hiring people that we may or may not need. You may need them, but I need you to run those numbers. I need you to ask yourself that if Tommy jumps in and Tommy takes over 5 of your jobs a week and Tommy's payroll is going to come out to $400 a week, then that's $400 less that you're going to get, which means that's $1,600 less a month you're going to get. And you've got to figure out how much business has to be replaced in order for you to get that back, because that is coming straight off of you to pay them to do your job for you. And how are you going to increase the business's profits to offset that? And a lot of people don't work through those numbers. They just look at, hey, I've got this monkey on my back. I got to get this thing taken care of. I need to hire a person. I need to plug them in. And then they get to the end of the month or the next month. Sometimes they don't even catch it for up to, 60, 90 days. And then because they were making such good profit, then all of a sudden they start seeing their profits dwindle, the bank account going down, and they can't figure out why all of a sudden are they so busy and they're helping all these people, but yet they're making less money than they've ever made and they're draining their bank accounts. I'm telling you right now, it's because you didn't think through the person that you hired and how you were going to replace the income that you were getting from them. You as a business owner, you're getting paid 2 ways. You've got the income you take in as an employee and the income you take in as a business owner. If you give away your employee income to hire someone, you've got to be increasing the business's profits to offset that for you personally. Okay? Because otherwise, if you just keep helping the same number of people you've always helped, all you're doing is increasing your business's sales. You're not going to see those profits go up at all, because all you've done is flip them over to somebody else. Run the numbers. I really think this is a very important topic, and I want you to spend some time thinking about it as you think about how you're going to grow your business. Because remember, it's a profit game. It's not a sales game. And just because you can do more sales, it doesn't mean that you're going to make more profits. If you can grow your profits and yet have this person, then absolutely do it. And by the way, if you're doing a solo business by yourself, you might have profit line of 30%, 35%, 40%, whatever that number may be. When you start hiring people, please know that number will go down. That's natural because you are giving away more of that money to for the payroll because you're growing your payroll line, but just know that you shouldn't go from 30% all the way down to 10%. It might go from 30 to 25 or 20%. Then if you can make those numbers work, it's all about volume. The more you sell, that's why those low discount places, it's all about volume. The more they do, they can make up the dollars they need for profit as opposed to the percentage. They work off of smaller percentages because it's all about the dollars. So just make sure that yes, your profitability might go down because of this person, because if your payroll goes from 0 to all of a sudden 20%, then yeah, you're going to see a drop. But it's all about making sure that you do the right combination of pricing and the person that you're bringing aboard so that they can fill the need that you have. Hopefully all of that, once again, is making sense. And by the way, if you do want to learn more about your business numbers, don't forget about the Know Your Business Numbers course, where we're going to walk you through, we've got profit and loss in there. I've got some pricing in there. I've got markup margin. What is cash flow? How to read a balance sheet, stuff like that. It's a very low price. And you get lifetime access because when I go and update that course later in the year, you're going to get all the free updates on it as I go. So don't forget that there's a link in the show notes if you're interested in that. And with that, I am going to go ahead and get out of here. Go out there, be profitable, make some money. Remember, it's about how much you keep. It's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. It is a profit game, not a sales game. I'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye for now.